12월입니다. LOL에서 12월. 지금부터 올스타전을 시작!
Yeah, keep it simple. Drop a rock into the water, watch it ripple. Tides turn quick, just keep your head on a swivel. Competition getting stiff. You know me, surround your whole town, make you yell siege. All-star, homie, this the king's speech. Boy, breathe. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. We all here tonight, so let's do it right. Right next to the legends, I go off my brethren. Said goodbye to the old me. I'ma make sure that you know me. After this here, you gon' owe me. Didn't choose a game, it chose me. You know what G-O mean to an OG? Let's go. Fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time. Get out of your mind. Raise up the lights. We all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight.
Welcome to the Las Vegas Esports Arena, home of the 2018 All-Star event. Titans from all across the world meet here to compete on multiple battlefields and indulge in the end-of-year celebration of all things League of Legends. You're getting a look at the beautiful esports arena where fans are converging to see the superstars from all across the globe compete in Earth, rival grudge matches, Howling Abyss, Tandem Mode, and we'll try to keep up with the action all weekend long as we make our way onto the stage. The fans in attendance loud as ever already. Shots of the Luxor, home to the esports arena, and some of the pros lounging before they take to the stage later on today. Of course, we had 1v1s for the fans themselves to take part in, merch booths, we got all kinds of stuff, a VIP lounge, and hello everyone, I'm James Dash Patterson, joined by Barento Raz, Mohammed, Sam, Kobe, Hartman, Kenzler, and Ifyashaks de Portera. How are we doing today?
We're great. I mean, I do have to say, we're both hosting, we're both on the desk. I'm not sure how we're gonna deal with this.
It's a new dynamic,
yeah.
Exactly. So
we
decided
to
share
the
workload
evenly
for
the
entire
event.
Wait.
Great,
Stop it.
that's gonna be great.
No.
Stop it.
We're not doing that. No.
Party Cooper, hello.
But that's how we rehearsed the
Yeah,
whole show
this
that
is
way,
how
Kobe.
we're
That
gonna
we
do
I
it.
don't know any other way.
Yeah.
This is too much talking. Can
Okay,
one of you
okay.
please do it?
All right,
Alright,
fair enough.
alright,
All right.
alright.
How about you two? How are you two holding up?
I'm doing well. Flying in from Shanghai and already just getting a look of Las Vegas. It's been great so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Now, this year's All-Star event is jam-packed with a bunch of different ways to claim regional glory. First, there's the return of the 1v1 tournament, Uzi defending his title.
I mean, he's got something to make up for after Worlds. You know, he at least wants
Wait a
to
second.
protect this trophy.
He's coming back as a champion. Last All-Star is taking down Bjergsen. You have to recognize him as such.
Absolutely, no disrespect there. There we go. Yeah.
There it is. And here,
some
this
moves.
is the winning moment here. Remember when Kalista was good?
Yeah, it was dead.
Yeah, it was this time last year, very much so. Who knows if he'll jump back to the 80 carries
Wonderful.
to get his 1v1 victory this time around.
And that's the trick of All-Stars. It comes down, you want to have fun, but you go up against a try-hard player. You really have to go hard. Go hard or go home. Find yourself in the finals specifically for that competition.
Of course, to follow the 1v1 tournament, we also have the 2v2 tournament for charity, where each region's duos will be playing for $100,000 to go to the charity of their choosing.
That's one of my favorite parts, I think, of this All-Star. We don't know yet which charity they will have chosen. We'll know upon knowing the winner. These duos, I think this is lovely. And yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect from the 2v2 portion. We don't do that often, but we'll see.
All right, an extra special something to compete for. Regional rivalry, though, we've got show matches on Summoner's Rift. We've got the East versus West All-Star Showdowns and mixed team alternative game modes, including Tandem Mode, Nexus Blitz, and a few other surprises along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm especially excited just to see some of these players play for the first time after our crazy offseason.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
we have Bang moving over to
Oh my
NA
God.
from LCK. He's on 100 Thieves now. We also have Broken Blade from the TCL moving to TSM. And of course,
Yeah,
Caps
indeed,
here after his crazy move to G2.
That is insane. And I was on the flight with Broxah and Caps. I don't know if they ended up sitting together, if there's like, of course there isn't. They get along, but you know, everything's different. So it's really cool for all these guys to be together. And it's also kind of blast from the past, you know, Captain Jack's here, Mad Life's here. It's awesome.
Of the fun game modes, which is the one you got your eyes on?
Oh, for me, it's going to be Pro Tandem. them just because you do get to see that mix, Diamond Prox and MLXG, the
let's
mad
see.
minds in the jungle. They're going to be trying to fight it out to see where they end up going. And then, of course, you have Sneaky and Bang going to be playing alongside. So that's going to be fun.
All right, it's the only time in Pro League of Legends when putting more mechanical prowess on the Rift actually does damage rather than good. There will be plenty of shenanigans, I'm sure. Now, since Worlds, the game has changed in dramatic ways. We'll do our best to absorb every little tweak throughout the weekend, but I want to go through a couple of the ones that the three of you found to stand out. Neeko, okay. Jox is first. Neeko, let's talk about the newest champion to join the League of Legends roster.
I think Neeko is going to be insanely powerful. Just her base kit, if you don't even take into account the fact that she can camouflage herself as another champion, has plenty of damage as well as reliable CC in it to be very effective, even on release.
And to your point about camouflaging, if she camouflages, she can hide the channel of her ultimate, 1.3 ratio on that. So her numbers are actually pretty crazy. Great wave clearing if she comes out in the mid lane.
There's so many intricacies to that champion, though, in terms of things like, hey, laning, I can be a Caitlyn now and auto-attack from further away for last hits. I can just take the move speed of one of my faster allies to traverse the map. And so it'll be really nice to see this champion in pro player hands and what it might be capable of. Of course, beyond Neeko, we have Dark Harvest. However, we're now in like maybe the old new Dark Harvest.
Yeah,
stage.
we're on the live patch, so Dark Harvest has been nerfed. Base damage cut basically in half there. Yeah, we may have made it through the Dark Harvest era here, so we'll get some new runes hopefully.
All right, I love it. I love it. Of course, we'll be tracking all that throughout the competition, which kicks off with an All-Star Classic, North America versus Europe, with 5 of the region's representatives taking to the Rift for Game 1. Then 8 2v2 matchups, followed by the return of Nexus Blitz, Tandem Mode, and Earth, concluding with the first stage of the 1v1 tournament. Oh my God, that's a huge first day.
That's a lot of stuff. Also, NA versus EU first. So I am the only EU representative on this. We're gonna win.
We gotta start it off with something spicy, something to brag about for the remainder of the tournament. We've got a full day of games ahead of us, so we are going to send it over to Quick Shot, Vedius, and Jat? That can't be right.
That's right, you heard correctly. Jat's back at the caster desk. Joshua Jat Leesman. I'm quite surprised, but it is All-Star game, so All-Star caster.
Dude, if you can have 2 hosts and 3 NA80 carries in the same 5v5, I can cast the game.
I think so too.
I did it for 6 years.
Well, it's about time you've done it again in the 2018 season. I'm Quickshot, joined by Vedius and, of course, Jat. We're about to jump into North America taking on Europe in our first 5v5 of the 2018 All-Star event. Let's remind you of who the rosters are. Starting for North America, it is Licorice in the top lane, Nightblue in the jungle, Sneaky in the mid lane, that is correct. Doublelift in the bot, and he's being supported by Imaqtpie.
And opposite lane, on the red side, it is Team Europe. Arguably the best team Europe could ever hope to put together, with Wickd in the top lane, Broxah in the jungle, Jiizuke in mid lane, Caps in the bot lane, with support NoWay for you.
You say arguably. I mean, I've seen you take up some pretty large arguments
There's
before.
one argument that could be made. That's all I'm going to say, Jat. And I mean, you look at the talent across that roster, you've got 2 Worlds finalists in it. You've got Wickd, who is a former World semi-finalist. You've also got NoWay for you, an up-and-coming star here in Europe. I've got Jiizuke. Like, you can't challenge the star-stacked roster that we've got right now.
I mean, have you seen Sneaky Zed?
All right, okay.
Right.
That's fair. That's a good argument.
38% preseason win rate. Like, how do you stop that?
I got a better question. Who's the better 80 carry in the bot lane between Cutie and Doublelift?
Good question. I'm debating in my head whether or not I expect Cutie to hold Champ Select hostage and get 80 carry for himself. We'll see. We'll see whether he obeys the rules of the role select.
Because internationally, Cutie does have a better record than Doublelift does. I mean, I do believe it was, you were telling me about an IPL or an IEM?
I believe it was in Hanover, the World Championship in 2012. Cutie made finals. If everyone remembers Moscow 5, Alistair flashing over Raptors, killing Scarra.
Hold this thought for a moment, because while we're going to continue to decide whether or not Doublelift or Cutie is the better 80 carry, Doublelift and Cutie actually shared their thoughts on their duo lane.
Oh my God, Cutie's my support? Let's go. That's where he belongs, at my heel.
I mean, I definitely think having me will definitely be a boon to the team because I'm I'm better than Doublelift and Sneaky. Realistically, I can kind of micromanage them, tell them what to do because they probably need it. If you saw how they played at Worlds, they definitely do. So I'm pretty excited. I think we could probably do pretty well.
Character never changes, does it?
That's him. I was on a team with Imaqtpie. That is him.
So there was a quote from, I want to say 4 years ago, where he said in Twitch chat, quote me on this, EU is garbage.
Yeah.
He now has the opportunity to prove it if he can crush EU here and
Once
now.
and for all.
Once and for all.
This is the game that decides it, Jack. Don't
Honestly.
scoff, right? This is NA versus EU. This is for the marbles. This is bragging rights to finish the 2018 competitive season.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if there's ever a scorecard between NA and EU and you check meaningful games versus less meaningful games.
Good catch.
NA's going to smash in the less meaningful games. So I got them as a big favorite.
Okay, well, let's turn our attention towards the game for a second, right? Because the players, they should be getting ready for picks and bans. This is where I want to get serious, boys. 8:24 is the patch.
Yeah.
Neeko, does she make it through? Do these pro players allow it to happen, or do you think there'll be professional jealousy?
Yeah, so we got to set a little bit of context here. The fact that we're doing this All-Star event on patch 824, if you're talking about North America, that patch happened Tuesday night. And it's currently 4 p.m. on Thursday. Most of these players were traveling. So if they've played Neeko, it's been in a few play tests or a few games from their practice room. And I will say that they want to pick it. I've talked to a lot of them. There are some rather high base damage and AP ratios on that champion who can also camouflage. And the fact that it's the All-Star event where you want to show off. I would be surprised if they actually didn't ban it.
See, that's what I'm expecting. And I'm thinking banning it because if you're not going to be allowed to play it, then you're not going to let somebody else play that champion and style on you.
That's the rules
But what else can we expect? If we know Neeko is going to show her face, Venice, what else would you like to see? And try to weigh up, like, actual professional,
So
versus
Karthus is one of them. Karthus with Dark Harvest was a big thing. Now, even though Dark Harvest has been nerfed, I wonder if they still value Karthus as a strong pick, because having that extra damage with the ultimate that can hit multiple people could be something that these pro players still value. We have to look at champions like Aurelia for Wicked. You would imagine that given his history on the champion, it
was
would
a
be
much
something he
older
looks
champion.
I mean,
with
it
a
is
much older
true.
player.
Very, very true.
Oh, Heimerdinger ban. That's immediately disappointing.
Yeah.
I wonder if any EU spies overheard my conversation with Doublelift and Pewdiepie like 10 minutes ago when I asked him what they're going to play. He said, better ban Heimer, but they then banned it, so I think I got a little troll.
Well, let's see what the response is going to be instead. The question is whether that Heimer was going to be bot for Caps, mid for Jiizuke, or top for Wicked. That's the question I'm actually going to have to ask them later in the day. A little bit of a try-hard ban here from the European representatives with a colleague.
And something that we talked about last night, Quick Shot, was will there be flex picks? And given the number of pros in their positions, we have to keep our eyes on the number of available champions that can go into every single role available. Now, so far we've seen pretty standard bans outside of the Heimerdinger, with Lucian being taken away from Broxah, the Akali just being taken away because of how strong it is. And Aatrox also being taken away. So I feel like so far, both teams playing it relatively safe outside of some of the more interesting stuff that we have been seeing recently.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes NA gets accused of being a for-fun region.
It's true.
You know what is really fun?
Tell me.
Winning. So why not ban the champion that the other team is good at? It's fun.
Well, Neeko is not yet banned. Yasuo taken off the table. I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, you got, I mean, so Caps.
Oh,
no, they banned Aurelia. What can Wicked play now?
Okay,
He's got nothing.
Neeko, lock it in.
Has to be.
Lock it in.
Has to be. Okay, no surprises there. So let's see what Sneaky's Neeko's going to be, because I'm assuming that's going to go mid.
I think it could go top.
It could go anywhere. I mean,
I think Licorice should play it.
PewDiePie could say he's playing it.
I think pick order rules. Top laner gets to play.
Do you think Nightblue has made a thought about a YouTube episode on how to play it in the jungle yet? Because if he has, this would make great. This would make great B-roll.
Oh, it would.
For that episode.
So that's a Jax lock-in already. So some of the cool changes that have happened, while Jax, I believe his ultimate did get nerfed this patch.
Okay.
Largely because of his jungle clear. The Death Dance happened with the changes, which means magic damage can also benefit from him.
Yes.
But also, I know that he's just been a very popular jungler right now. But I wonder where that could actually be going, where they're looking to flex it.
Hey, if I'm guessing, It's definitely top or jungle. The Kalista, you would think, would be for Caps, although
He's going to play that in
we
the
weren't
Doublelift.
expecting him to play a marksman, so they could be playing some tricks on us.
Well, listen, I mean, we were expecting Caps to go mid, but he's on a team now where mid or ADC doesn't matter, and maybe everybody's swapping around.
There's 3 mid laners on his team.
It's EU is basically solo laners, because NoWay for you also is a former solo laner, plays mid and top experience. NA is predominantly AD carries.
Yeah.
And of course, the Lucian has been locked in, so...
I mean, listen, I know the internet's been having some debates lately about whether or not AD carry is strong or not. If there were 3 AD carries on one side and 3 mid laners on the other, I think this will show what role is better.
Yeah, it will for sure prove it.
It's definitive.
NA are going full tryhard right now with the Lucian Braum down towards the bot side of the map. Considered one of the strongest lanes right now. Lucian is a massive lane bully. There's a longer laning phase because of the turret planing as well. And Doublelift and Imaqtpie they clearly just want to smash on.
Yeah, and what I want to do, I'm going to jump in really quickly and say, I don't care if they're going try-hard. We're using it in a derogatory way, and I want to reposition it.
Yeah.
They are playing to win.
Oh, they are.
I need to see what Cutie-Pie's Braum looks like in a professional setting against Caps in NoWay.
Yeah, winning is fun. Try hard is also synonymous with success.
It's true.
So I'm
so
okay with successful try hard teams at All-Star.
All right, EU definitely having some fun with this run. Jax, Kalista, Cassiopeia, and the first ban off the table is going to be a Talia. I wasn't expecting that because I thought she'd been pretty hit with a nerf bat pretty hard.
In my notes, I was convinced that she was dead now. She has had another pretty significant change, but EU clearly still showing their respect towards NA. Could go in the jungle or mid lane position. Maybe they want to try and limit the number of options to Sneaky in the middle lane, try and pinch that role.
Yeah, we also don't know if Sneaky's just going to play Neeko mid. Like with Licorice just being a bro and allowing him to play what I expect to be a very strong champion if he's had time to play a few games on it.
Very eloquently put there, Jet. Phase 2 just rounding out. Nocturne removed off the table as well as the brand by North America. So Europe are now going to have another shot at the Phase 2. We're going to figure out what's going in that support role and whether or not that Jax is going to go top or jungle. Where would you like it to go based on what we're seeing?
Well, so far, I think... So I'm expecting the Neeko to be in the jungle, in which case I would want the Jax in the jungle against it. But what I really want to see from EU is either the Xerath or the Vel'Koz locked in for NoWay, because in the ESL Meisterschaft, where NoWay does play, he's known as the German aim botter because of how accurate he is with these skill shot champions. So I'd like to see him go towards that. Or will he go for other kind of skill shot?
Oh, baby, the old school Kalista Blitzcrank. This is going to be very, very fun.
All right, surely that's got to be Caps in NoWay.
It has to be.
Down there.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You can, in less competitive environments, throw Kalista in soul lanes and bind with the jungler or something.
I have seen that.
But you lose a lot of effective power because of that. I really just want to see, in these 2 picks, where NA is actually going, because now Sneaky could be playing Ezreal mid, and they're just going to stack marksman on there. So you can play Lucian mid too, but I think
that's
I think it would be Sneaky's Ezreal.
I think that makes, I can agree with that. And then are we inclined to think that the Neeko is in jungle? Because when I think of Nightblue, to me he was someone that often was quite creative with his jungle choices. He never liked the conventional stuff. I remember a lot of his Pantheons and Rengars. All right, now I'm really confused. So it is Neeko jungle. It has to be Neeko jungle. Lucian top, LeBlanc mid.
Well, gentlemen, this is why I have 2 analysts next to me, because I haven't got a clue what direction this is going. But if this is Sneaky's LeBlanc, chat, how does it compare to Sneaky's Zed?
Roughly the same, I think.
So what was the 38% win rate?
I just love the number of clones that they're going to have on the...
Oh my god, you're right. You're right.
Where's the Shaco as well? That really just rounded it out.
Okay, well, the team comp is now rounded out on the side of EU. They've locked in the Zhao, so expect that to be in the jungle. Jax top. This is the easiest prediction. On the assumption Kalista and Cassiopeia swap.
Yes.
We've got a few seconds to go before NA reveals.
So remember, you could still lane swap. You could put Caps mid and Jiizuke bot if they suddenly decided in draft that he was the better Kalista.
Who would be a better AD carry, Jiizuke or Caps?
Well, I think if Caps is already planning his 2020 plan, then maybe he would be better off going AD carry.
There it is.
But yeah, I think that him on Kalista, maybe he's learned a thing or 2 from perks. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you guys were right about Nightblue playing Neeko in the jungle as well. I think a lot of theory crafters like that because of the ability to come to lane disguised as a different champion and not necessarily have that champion already revealed on the map because that's an easy tell, but I do think it is a better solo lane champion, and the early clear speed between a world finalist Zhao
Yes.
versus the first time Neeko jungler in Nightblue might be a little imbalanced.
I also have to jump on this. I actually caught up with Broxah just before the game started and said to him that if you die to a YouTube content creator as a world finalist jungler, then I will not forgive you. Now he's coming up against a guy who's so forward-thinking that Nightblue is already planning his next content piece.
Yeah, already.
He's already thinking about what the headline will be. Will it be in celebration or will it be in disappointment?
Yeah.
This is the game that'll determine.
Yeah, OMG, look what happened when Nightblue played World Semifinalist. You won't believe it.
There we go.
OP unbanned available.
I cannot wait to see if he pulls up the combos. We are loading up into our first game here on Summoner's Rift. Is the 2018 All-Star event, North America taking on Europe. And we'll keep a close eye on Nightblue, who is running Dark
Chat's
Harvest.
enabled, chat's enabled.
The jungle.
Move it up, I want to read the chat.
We'll have to see whether or not there is...
If I only knew you played LeBlanc.
Oh, this feels a bit risky
Yeah,
to me. Let's see
nice
whether or not... Let's see whether or not Sneaky can handle Jiizuke.
Oh, see, they know. They're familiar with the level 1 strats. So they've already given away their level 1 positioning. EU at the disadvantage here. But for North America, I think we need to talk a little bit about their comps, Jack, because when I look at this comp from NA, I think not very good. Now, the reason why I say that is because I don't think they have a lot of engage. They don't really have much of a front line. And I think they're very reliant on their pretty much solo lane carry potential.
Okay.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Sure. I think that's pretty good. I mean, if they win, it's Neeko empowered, just tons of damage. Because there's not really a tank on the EU side. It's just the fact that it is All-Star, and I don't think these guys are necessarily going for the best cohesive team composition. We're going to be tracking a lot of what Neeko's doing here, and I really want to pay attention to where NoWay goes, because Blitzcrank against a tankless team is a beast if his skill shots are on point.
Wait, what are they doing right now?
And remember, NoWay was called the aimbotter in the European Regional League.
True.
Various, what was it that you were noticing just a moment ago?
They were just sitting in the Drake pit, and I thought that they might be up to something sneaky, but it looks like that staying in the mid lane, and they're not going to pull anything off for the time being.
All right, Sneaky's going to dash forward there with the distortion onto Jiizuke. Try to put some pressure onto him, and Broxah waiting in the wings. Now I'm looking at the minimap. Nightblue's down in his Krugs. The bottom half of the map, and Broxah's invaded. He's going to the chickens. He's placed himself a ward. And Nightblue is over 2. He's a little on it, but I don't think he wants that fight.
He's got to be super cautious. Ooh, double spike, but he's missed his flash hook. So
all right, defensive flash. There goes Caps. He's looking for something onto Cutie-Pie. Cutie-Pie forced to summon a spell away. Heal is up. So at the end of the day, it's 4 summoners to 2. No flashes in the bottom lane. There are some juicy, juicy targets.
yeah, I mean, especially with Broxah having control of the jungle right here. Although it is just a level 2 Zhao, and since they're already under their turret, he doesn't have much to do. The fact that Nightblue avoided the invade, I think actually puts him in a decent spot. It's just bot lane really has to get out of this no summoner turret wave crashing into the turret. Remember, turrets, not only do they have plate now, they do more damage, so early game dives like this are more dangerous.
Yeah, don't dive. I don't think that's a very good idea. Even with no summoner spells, Licorice has the teleport. Remember, you can't cancel a teleport now on the most recent patch. Can still be interrupted. But outside of that, and I think it's sort of what we expected with an Ezreal Braum lane, not quite as powerhouse as the Lucian lane, but we do now see Neeko heading up towards the top side of the...
Oh, Sneaky with a really good trade onto Jiizuke. And I definitely find I'm more emotionally invested in this game than I thought I was going to be in the first few minutes as it's loaded up. And of course, it's Nightblue.
It's an Ezreal.
That is hiding as Ezreal. Of course, that glowing particle effect is thanks to the passive.
So, I was just about to ping our producers to say, hey, I think there's a bug in the game because there's 2 Ezreal icons. I didn't realize the icon changes when he goes in. I didn't realize.
Well, hold that thought for a second. As Sneaky's now running for his life to ignite on the poison.
First,
oh, he got a Sneaky dives underneath. He does get one back onto Jiizuke. They trade kills with the ignites.
I'm okay with that when you're putting Sneaky's LeBlanc up against Jiizuke. He's also got a CS lead. Now Nightblue gets to get some more experience in the mid lane on Neeko. I want to see Night Blue hit level 6. Because I will say, the 250 base damage stunning Neeko ultimate, where you can hide the first 1.25 seconds of the channel time if you are camouflaged as another allied champion, is something I really do want to see one-shot someone.
Okay, look, which lane would be the most likely? That'll be an interesting question. Whether or not Nightblue can find himself an opportunity.
Well, I think mid is the easy choice right now, given that there are no summon spells available on Jiizuke. Sneaky still has his flash. He is playing LeBlanc, really good gank setup champion. And I think that there's just a lot of options to play around that lane. And meanwhile, on the top side of the map, this is one of the interesting narratives I wanted to look at, because it's kind of like old versus new. Young rookie of Licorice had a fantastic first year in pro play versus Wickd, who was a legend in Europe, but kind of slowly started to taper off. This is like the first time we've seen him in pro play for quite a while, and so far he's struggling against the young blood of Licorice.
I mean, Lucian into Jax, I think,
Yeah,
I think it's a little fair there, all right?
Yeah, he's allowed.
Give him some credit. Whether or not Broxah is going to come help him out or not at any moment of time. For now, Broxah's actually camping down this bottom lane. Doublelift and Cutie, no flash, remember. NoWay needs to find a target. Catches onto Cutie-Pie. Power fist to the face, and that's an easy secure. The European representatives, they are still down 800 or 900 gold thanks to those CS differences, so EU needs more kills.
I would have liked a little bit more cooperation from Doublelift there to give Imaqtpie a target to jump to. Now Doublelift, without shift and without flash, does have to bail.
But here comes Licorice though, and up in the top lane, Culling. Wicked flash sideways, buddy. Jumps right back into the bullets. Licorice gets himself a solo kill on the Grandpa in the top lane. Now Sneaky with the roam. Broxah's down to 300. Rocket grab into Power Fist. NoWay's dropping low. He's getting chunked up by Doublelift. Now there's two members of EU in trouble. NoWay's going to be in trouble. He's chunked down. Sneaky gets the kill. And NA, they get themselves a reply. 3 kills to 2, and they're in the gold lead as well.
This is a big gold lead, dude.
Yeah, really big.
Double the CS and a kill in the top lane. That's where this game's really going to break open. Licorice already taunting him, successfully gets him to jump in. By the way, it's level 6 versus 5, dude.
That was the big mistake there. Wicked, he fell for the bait. Licorice, he drew him in with the swagger, and he ends up finding that kill. And also, did he take down? Yeah, he did take a plate up towards the top lane as well. So that contributed to that extra bit of gold that NA is sitting with. And while things looked pretty positive for EU in the early game, things are starting to go in NA's favor.
It's long con. It's long con. Look at the scoreboard there, Vedius. There's a 450 gold bounty on Sneaky's head starting to build up. I'm sure it's a double bluff. EU are just pulling NA where they want them, and then they'll grab those bounties and bounce back.
They're waiting for the late game.
I give it 35% odds at the moment. But EU, they're down nearly 2,000 gold, and every single lane is in a little bit of trouble. But Broxah, what can he do?
Takes a lot of damage, gets his passive out. Still flash on Sneaky. Do you want to talk quickly about turret plating as well? It's going to be up until 14 minutes. Every plate gives 160 gold. Turrets start the game with 40 armor and magic resist, but every plate has 30 more armor and magic resist, so the next plate is always going to be harder to break, but you get a lot of gold if you can break down a lot of these plates early, and I think that is why Broxah is looking up top, but a full health flash for Lucian is going to be very difficult to dive.
Jiizuke's there as well, though.
As soon as you bring
They're going!
a lot easier.
Okay, let's take a look at this. This is the flash engage. Miasma comes up to Jiizuke! Licorice gets a reply back! Wicked needs to walk sideways, not just backwards, buddy. Fate's call from Caps. That saved NoWay in the bottom lane. It ends up being a 1-for-1, but in a 1 versus 3.
Licorice doing a fantastic job of surviving there. Now a clone. He's going to show up in the bot lane.
They literally just kill Lucian. If you want to be sneaky,
no, you have to be LeBlanc if you want to be sneaky. And they're just going to take away all the plating.
Oh, Nightblue, this is... He's really nervous, all right?
Oh, but he's full HP!
Remember, the passive, it replicates the HP in the top lane, baiting both NoWay and the casters, taking it out under the tower. Now Tower's going to trigger, turn around onto Doublelift. He's down to 200 HP, flashes over the wall. Caps has got nothing with him. He doesn't get the PSI. The Cutie-Pie flashes himself over into the jungle of the European representatives, and here comes Sneaky now. He's looking for another. Broxah jumps onto Cutie-Pie. That's at least the 4th kill for EU. Nightblue running for his life as Broxah is trying to find himself another target. And EU, they're keeping themselves in touching distance, but they're still behind the game.
They certainly are. I mean, NA seem to have an answer. They see the dive happening top lane. Immediately they head towards bot. Sneaky's already making his way and he's looking for a kill.
Sneaky's going to get capped in just a moment or two. Very easily secured. As Sneaky is 3-1-0 on that mid lane LeBlanc, a 600 gold bounty.
Is it possible that instead of Sneaky cosplaying, FLICKR is actually cosplaying as Sneaky in this game?
It's All-Star, anything is possible.
It's very true.
3-1 against a pro mid lane Cassiopeia. I gotta hand it to Sneaky, he's doing great.
It would make me feel a whole lot better as a European shoutcaster if that were the case.
Hey, Sneaky is a world semi-finalist. You can't forget that, right? And he just got another kill off onto Caps, right? And so it's a bit of revenge, you know, saying that I can play mid better than you can play AD carry. This is a statement game for Sneaky moving into 2019.
He did play mid lane for C9 Academy when they eventually went on to win a Worlds. This isn't real.
No, this isn't. FLICKR's giving the keyboard back.
Yeah.
Oh no. Here comes Nightbleed. Now Nightbleed's in trouble. Look at the Twin Fang! The Twin Fang is obliterating him. OMG, Riot OP. And Jiizuke takes down Neeko. Not quite the explosive Neeko we were hoping for. Arcane shift from Doublelift, very well timed after the rocket grab. Here comes NoWay. Looking for the power fist. It's a slightly messy exchange, but hasn't resulted in a kill. Gentlemen, there's more action up top. 10 minutes on the clock. 12 kills in the game. And a defensive flash from Licorice gets him to safety. And of course, the big bounty secured by Jiizuke in the solo kill.
I was a lot happier about 45 seconds ago. Because this game just turned completely around. And then another hook onto Cutie Pie. They're going to get a lot of poke here.
All right, take a look at the damage going back and
Nice.
Very nice.
Running for his life. Doublelift is in a little bit of trouble. So is Cutie Pie. They're split up. The red does so much work. And
another kill,
double.
Caps and NoWay just 2v2 killed two of the best North American AD carries. Fantastic stuff from the EU bot lane.
And of course, in the mid lane, Sneaky and Licorice, they got themselves a kill back onto Jiizuke. They secured his bounty as well.
All right, Acer Predator replay right here. You can see Jiizuke 1v2 kills. This is not the replay of the time where he 1v2 killed both of them.
But you can already see the title of Nightblue's next video, can't you? You know, Cassio, so strong, needs 2 champions to kill.
Well, by the way, thanks to those kills that Europe picked up, they've now closed that gold gap. It was nearing 2K. NoWay's going to look for the rocket grab. He's going to find it. Very nicely done. Sneaky can't dodge. And despite Nightblue showing up, it's too little, it's too late. EU are now 9 kills to 7 up. There's bounties for Broxah and Caps, and they've turned this around a little. Counter-Strike will find a stun. Licorice with a dash and a dodge. A little bit of an observer glitch there, so to speak.
Yeah, and this is also the type of game you expect from an all-star event where people are willing to take a lot of risks. And also it does show some of the things that the new bounty system has contributed to. So bounties stack up a little bit faster now, especially when you start getting 3 kills, and once you have a 2-kill bounty, it's displayed on the scoreboard. So Brox has gotten 2 kills in a row, and Caps has gotten 2 kills in a row. So what happens when you have a lead, even though there are more ways to generate gold through turret plating and farm, which can also contribute to your bounties, if you don't play properly around those leads, the game does neutralize a lot faster. So what happened here is NA jumped out to an early lead, but then the people with a lot of kills and a lot of gold were a little bit foolish, gave the kills back, and suddenly we have reached parity in the game once again.
A little bit foolish. I really think that's well put. The first dragon's picked up. All the dragons, of course, have been buffed in the early stages of the game. Ocean is just a little bit stronger. The respawn times between drakes is now going to be 5 minutes instead of 6. The next one, being Infernal, is going to be very hotly contested. Great rocket grab onto Doublelift. You know, for such a top-tier AD carry, that is inexcusable. Caps gets knocked out. Nightblue gets a reply. Teleports are going to start to be challenged. Remember, they cannot be cancelled. Wickd is looking for a reply back, but realize this is not the fight he wants. He leap strikes over to the ward in the back. And while all that's going on, Jiizuke shoving in this mid lane, taking plating after plating. 14 minutes is getting close. Point blank, petrifying gaze. Jiizuke read Sneaky like a book.
Oh, he certainly did. And EU once again answered back. Broxah gets very low as he tanked 1 too many tower shots. The turret planing is about to disappear now. And just as the tower goes down, so North America will secure the first blood tower bonus, and the game is surprisingly even. We've now seen 20 kills across the board. Really good stuff there from Nightblue to compensate for the big mistake that Doublelift made down towards the bot side of the map.
Yeah, we're about double the pace of a pro game, one would say. We're at about 1.4 combined kills per minute here. First turret gold is less than it was in previous patches because turret plating exists. So instead of a bonus 300 gold, NA only got a bonus 150 gold for killing that turret, but it's because they had already pillaged the plating off of the turret.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, North America is looking to be pretty happy. This is about the time that I'd start asking a question like, who do we prefer in the mid game and late game? I don't know if that's a fair question right now, Vidius, but look, NoWay and Caps, they've already swapped and they're pushing into this top tower.
Well, I mean, one of the easiest things you can do to answer that question, quick shot, is look at some of the items. If you look across the board for EU, they are pretty stacked with the Ludens already completed, and you also have the Oblivion all done for Jiizuke, level 11 as well. And for Caps, he's finished the Blade of the Ruin King, he's got the Berserker Greaves too, and they're doing very well in terms of farm and experience. The bigger deal is that Wickd has now caught up to Licorice in terms of farm, and while the Trinity Force is not yet completed, it's a lot better of a state for EU in this current mid game.
And you also have to look in close games like this where everyone's kind of scattered around the map, who has the better initiation. So when they do find someone who can actually get a fight, look, just missed the combo.
Look at that, so close but so far. Imaqtpie gets taken down. Caps is going to escape with his life. Broxah just out of range of the chains. Jiizuke takes a full face
That
of
could
the
be big.
Colin. Here comes Nightblue. The Pop Blossom stun. That's enough for one. Now North America on the retreat. Caps gets chunked down by the Mystic Shot, trying to find a kill onto Licorice as the flash comes in from NoWay for the assist. Europe, they get themselves two for the cost of one.
It looked like a big ultimate from Nightblue, but Europe were able to turn it around. Really good stuff there from Wickd, being able to pick up that escape kill coming out from Nightblue, and EU still walk away with the greater numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that did show that you can initiate with Neeko. The follow-up just wasn't there.
Yeah.
We were joking earlier, Vedius, about like, why does the 650 base damage ultimate with a 1.3 ratio also stun? And I'm like, well, in case they're not dead, and then they didn't die, and then Nightblue still did die. So you can understand there is some vulnerability taking AP champions in the middle. So they did get a good amount of pull onto Imaqtpie, but it wasn't, I believe, the full shot from the Kalista Blitzcrank. That gets Cutie-Pie, and then NA still tries to go for a fight, even though they are already down their support, so no tank for the initiation. Watch this nice three-man stun, gets the shield, but we got more action coming up right now.
Oh, we do indeed. Doublelift and Cutie-Pie, are they surrounding Caps? So NoWay, that's another rocket grab to the face of Cutie-Pie. But Caps doesn't seem interested for now. The static field comes out. Here comes Nightblue. There's Bob managing to find the stun. NoWay gets taken down. Remember, he started that fight. North America going to be happy with that. We still have gold parity. Nightblue goes up, goes down, pops Caps. And that's two quick kills for North America. The bottom lane for Europe, letting the side down, Vedius.
Yeah, they made some big mistakes there, and Nightblue coming up clutch. This guy has really been saving the game for North America. When we've seen a couple of individual mistakes from some of the members, he's the guy that's been able to turn around these fights, pick up a couple of those kills, and he does it ononce again, as we see the mid laners trading once more.
Oh, but I mean, Jiizuke's hitting real hard. I think that was like
hard.
Two Twin Fangs take 60-70% of Sneaky's HP.
That's two completed items there, quick shot, with both the Morellonomicon and the Luden's Echo, means that this Cassio will be hitting like a truck, and now Licorice perhaps getting collapsed upon by three members.
At the mini-map, here comes Broxah. Licorice gets a lot of damage onto Wickd. That's a defensive flash already.
All right.
Europe will be happy with that. They don't chase further. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed. I wanted the dive. I thought they were going to go for it, but I'll let it slide.
Well, what they really wanted was control over the river so they could work towards this Infernal Drake. Remember, it is buffed in the early levels, so securing one is a big deal.
Yeah, 10% attack damage and ability power, which when you have a 4-carry lineup on both sides is really important. And they got the control ward, they bailed. So Caps is up top lane on Kalista, but as we said, Jiizuke is going to have a big impact later on in this game. And he's got everyone down here, so they should be able to acquire it.
Oh, Rocket Crab doesn't find a target. Cutie-Pie goes in, puts the Glacial Fisher down. NoWay's in a little bit of trouble. Nightblue's already used that pop block. Gets a stun to Broxah and Jiizuke, but there's no follow-up. There's nobody to work with him. Wickd and Caps are like, bro, we don't care, because Caps is up top, Wicked's down bottom. Jiizuke will get himself a reply. The poison is ticking on Cutie-Pie. Is it enough to kill him? One more tick is not there. And Cutie the greatest AD carry in this game, survives.
Jiizuke has done such a great job of clicking his ultimate at the beginning of Sneaky's distortion catch. So when he arrives, he's getting the petrify from that petrifying gaze. Yes, he did die, but he's always taking someone with him. So 5 kills, equaling Sneaky, but 40 more CS, I think, making him, if we tab to the gold, the wealthiest player in this game, 500 gold over Doublelift, keeping it neck and neck, and the Infernal Drake remains.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very close game back and forth, and one thing I'm learning more about Neeko is her ultimate on paper looked very strong. It looked like it could really be game-changing, but if you don't have the follow-up...
So Neeko with 2 AD carries and Assassin.
It's not enough.
You're not a fan. NoWay once again bites off way more than he can chew. For a man who was meant to have aimbot skills, 0, 6, and 8 on this Blitzcrank, it looked good in lane, but I'm not finding the faith as we're moving into the lane.
Well, he's definitely getting the bot part right. We just still need to figure out where the aim is coming through. But as the game progresses, he is the largest contributor of deaths, which is pretty good for the side of EU. When you still look at Broxah has a fantastic scoreline. The Trinity Force is now done for him. Wickd as well, completing the Trinity Force. So some of the big carries on the side of Europe are still looking very good, but NA still holds on to that gold lead.
Yeah, and I think we're actually seeing how difficult it can be to off-roll support when you have a lot of other pro players on their main roles.
Yep.
The responsibilities in this even changed vision game are leading to a lot of death.
Look at that petrifying gaze. Pixel perfect once again. As soon as Licorice used that dash, Jiizuke could be the man that saves this for Europe. We're 20 minutes in. Baron is now up. Reminder that Baron also spawns 1 minute earlier. Once we get to Alda, that is also a minute earlier in the new preseason. But more importantly, as the minions are now starting to scale up, starting to get stronger, we get our first glimpse on how the mid to late game minions will start to impact the wave pressure and how teams will look to win the game. That rocket grab just went wide, Jack. But they don't care. Walk straight into him and punch Cutie in the face.
He might have. You're going to ask, what was he thinking? Because you see a Blitzcrank hook, and then you walk into the Blitzcrank hook. Nice shift. They're actually going for a hold.
That's huge. Here comes Night Blue. There's a true shot barrage. Oh, Sneaky's blown up. He takes one with him, though. Manages to get the kill onto Cap. That's a dashboard from Broxah. An arcade shift away, and it's a shutdown onto Doublelift. Broxah continues to ramp up. Whoa! That was close. Licorice manages to escape, and he's going to start channeling the culling. That's the flash forward. The power fist knocks Licorice into the air. That's one in reply for he's shut down. A delayed ace on the side of Europe, but it's enough to stop the Baron.
Wow, that was a lot of stuff that just happened as EU had river control and a good shove in the top lane, so NA wasn't grouped. Cutie sees the hook pass and goes, I may as well figure out where that came from because the hook wasn't clear enough. Finds out it is a team.
He didn't have vision. He didn't have vision, okay? He was just looking for vision.
It's the classic NA it's just the classic support. The classic support. I apologize. I need to ward, guys. Come with me. But no one covered him. Now, Nightblue, he landed a beautiful 3-man ultimate, but again, no follow-up. This is really his team's fault, because he's giving them everything that they could need, but they're not there to help him out.
Yeah, Baron saved by Licorice after EU had pulled off a series of good plays. I think what we are seeing about Neeko is in a more highly coordinated environment, that ult is very landable.
Yes.
So a lot of people were saying, hey, it does so much damage, has a huge AP ratio, but it's really hard to land. You're able to disguise it very well when you're camouflaged, and the fact that you can flash your zombies in with it makes it very possible to get 3- and 5-man stuns, as Nightblue has done this game. Again, camouflaged as Ezreal. Which one's real? The one not using skills.
It's really frustrating to guess what the HP is underneath that skinned Neeko passive. And of course, Nightblue is now glistening there, pretending to be Doublelift. By the way, 900 gold bounty on Broxah, 618 on a world meta jungler for a world finalist jungler. He's doing what you would expect. He's doing work.
Yeah, he felt really scared after you gave him that comment, Quickshot.
He actually said to me, did you really need to remind me of the final? And I did feel bad. I did feel bad, but it's true.
And Wickd being 5-1 after basically having his CS doubled and getting solo killed in the early game should be called out. Like, that's very impressive. We got a bunch of pro players. We got 2 world finalists, 1 world semifinals, and then Wickd, who's been streaming for like 3 years and playing in some non-LCS organized play. So
Yeah, he tried Challenger. He tried.
He's done what CLG EU were known for and is relying on the late game.
Yeah.
He knew that laning
Yeah.
phase he was never going to win, so he's like, all right, I'll scale. But then to be fair, like Licorice has really been the big hope for this NA squad so far. He's been the one that stopped the Baron. He was a large part of their early game gold lead. And on this Lucian, while it can get harder to carry in the later stages of the game, he is still very strong at this point. He may just struggle against the Trinity Force team
Well, look,
at Jax that's now prime ready to go.
If Licorice turns this game around, there's not a, I think there's an argument to be made that this would be the performance that solidifies him as the best top laner that North America's ever produced.
Could be.
If they can, come
Shutting
come ahead
down Wickd? Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
Years and years of experience and...
I don't know how to respond to this.
All right, let's see what Wickd can do. He's down a level. He's going to run away. All right,
He's running away.
I was
like,
waiting.
his young bones are too springy for me to handle.
Smart play. Smart play. What do? Everyone's missing.
All right, so what is in terms of next move? Dragon's about to spawn. Baron is available. Neither team really wants to run the risk of Baron because we talked about it. No primary tank. Very squishy. Sneaky actually looking for a play on bot.
All right, the chain
No
will
flash.
find Wickd. He's going to need to pop that counter strike. Will block some damage. Gets a little bit of chunk onto Licorice. That's a fair amount of damage.
But Baron,
While
so
that's
Cassio does
going
Baron
on-
very fast. No Mountain Drake will be a little bit slower. He ult scouts them. Cutie can't sacrifice himself. No
Again,
problem.
Not going to do it this time, though. Baron has been interrupted. Looking at the mini-map, Doublelift and Sneaky, they've made way back to mid. 40 kills in this game at 25.5 minutes. Wait, and of course, that is Nightblue, who's pretending to be Licorice inside the jungle.
See, now, because Europe didn't commit to the Baron, NA have priority on mid lane and on bot, so they're the ones with most of the map control, and they will spot out Europe once again on this Baron. Kalista and Cassio, very quick Baron take.
Oh, Nightblue with that Pop Blossom in the pit.
to get in for
This
the
could
ult.
be game-changing. Looking for an opportunity. The Tangle Bombs goes out. Capsus already flashed.
got
Nightblue
him.
is blown up. He doesn't manage to find a proper target. Baron is secured. Caps gets it with the Ren. Teleport's being channeled. Wickd is respawned. He's rejoined the fight. A new challenger appears. And NA are routed and running for their lives. Doublelift does manage to take down Cap. And just as I misspeak, it's North America that turn the fight around. Broxah is in so much trouble. He gets bopped over to the blue buff. And here comes Licorice. He's going to find himself a shutdown, and only Jiizuke remains. He's low on mana. He can't get the fangs, and Europe will get ace after they secure themselves Baron.
And Baron no more at this point because they were able to kill all 5 players. It looked like EU had made a good play by securing it, blocking any entrance they could with the miasma, but they took so much damage from Baron, it was already a 4v5, and it could snap out.
And keep your eyes on the mobility that North American squad has, because with the dashes from Braum and LeBlanc and Ezreal, what they largely do is just chip away at this European squad. They can't actually lock anyone down, and so as EU's overcommitting, you see Doublelift jumping onto the backline, you see Sneaky using the chains to lock them down, and they can gradually just take apart each of the EU members and find themselves 4 easy kills.
Yeah, and with Licorice getting the 900 gold shutdown onto Broxah, you can add that to the 650 gold shutdown he had onto Wickd, and he has gotten very strong very quickly.
A full rapid fire.
And this Mountain Drake that they have just secured, which now gives them 16% true damage on objectives, up from 10%, which was in the previous season. Actually, the combination of Drakes having one of each is very ideal for NA.
Yeah, they got themselves a rapid fire cannon and a BF sword there, Vedius, into Licorice's back pockets. They're up 3,000 gold. And you know what? It is a for fun game mode, okay?
Get in there early. Oh, he's coming out early. He's like...
Just in case.
A second ago, you're talking about solidifying yourself as the best offense of all time, and now you're like, nah, we're just having fun.
We're just having fun, guys. Look, no, quick, are we committed? If North America wins this, we know what it means. But we know about Europe in the late game. Quick shot.
Okay.
That is their bread and butter. They have CLG EU Wickd on that team.
Looks like we're going to try and see a fight from EU. No, wait, no!
Oh, the Ballista works on the Sneaky for a second. Here comes the Pop Blossom. And it's just
Gets
only
one
to
done.
catch on Wickd, though. The rest of EU, they've split up the fight. And on the skirmishes, I think EU are in trouble. A very good Petrifying Gaze takes down Licorice. Jiizuke saves himself with another pixel-perfect ultimate. That's, of course, Neeko firing out those barbs. Not going to find the route, and now EU's on the offensive.
Yeah, Nightblue only got one with his ultimate, and it turned into an extremely scattered fight, so now it is actually a 5v3, and even though you don't have Baron, non-Baron minions are much stronger now, including cannon minions, which take 13 turret shots to kill at this stage of the game from the inhibitor turret.
Vedius, Jet, Europe are back! Caps is on the offensive as the mid lane inhibitor is going to go down. Wickd is trying to catch out Sneaky, unable to do so. Hops away and gets dropped down by Doublelift just on the way out. Doublelift's up to 750 gold bounty, 6, 3, and 6. NoWay does not find a target. I'm following Doublelift. True Shot Barrage is available. We've zoomed in on the Pajama Party. He's going to get slowed down. Arcane Shift will be up in just a moment. Going to jump away. Fires out the true shot, gets himself one. That was just disappointing, Caps. Should have seen that one coming.
And this is one of the things we're yet to talk about. All the Ezreal changes. This is the first time we've seen the new Ezreal in a competitive match. And with the W increased damage, how it's slightly different. But the bigger one is the True Shot Barrage. Now the damage doesn't get reduced by going through the minions. So Caps, he took the full brunt of that, which is why they were able to find the kill.
Do it, PewDiePie. Do it. Oh, okay. I was looking, didn't have flash. I think if PewDiePie had flash, he may have gone over the wall. But nevertheless, Doublelift using the True Shot Barrage to pick up the kill. And the Super's going down middle, but it still feels like North America has got a very good shot here.
Yeah, and I do have to say the game has accelerated post 25 minutes when we're talking about Season 8 versus 2019, which is the season we're going to be moving into. You get a cannon minion every wave post 25 minutes. That used to only happen post 35 minutes. Melee minions, by the way, have 80 attack damage now. They used to have 12. As far as their max AD. So if you leave a minion wave unattended, it can absolutely destroy a turret on its own without the Baron buff. They also have more move speed later on in the game, so you have to be very attentive to your minion waves. And even though the game is very close right now, if you misstep, the other team can take a lot of advantages off of that misstep.
It'll also be very interesting to see how quickly teams and players can adapt to the new pace of the late game. It is years and years of expectations that the minions are going to move at a certain pace. Now they're going to learn that and adapt to it. We'll see whether or not Europe can use this late game advantage, this late game strength that they have not only in their team comp, but also with the super minions down the mid lane to their advantage. Licorice is doing all that he can to save this, by the way. 7, 5, and 3. Got himself that QSS, got himself level 16. And he's
fast that super minion was attacked. Their attack speed went up too, by the way. Smack you dead real fast.
So Baron is now spawning in about 35 seconds. Mandrake will be up in about a minute, and that'll probably be the next big objective that we see a fight for. And one of the things we've got to identify is that when NA are finding kills, it's when the fights are a lot more split up, when it's more about skirmishing, the 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, because with their mobility, with their dueling prowess that they have with all the champions in their kit, they are very strong. But when EU is grouped up as a 5, when they're able to play the full-on 5v5, that comp just synergizes a little bit better, which better enables them to win out on these fights. So EU want that 5v5, NA, they want to try and spread apart these fights.
Yeah, my eyes are on Jiizuke for EU and actually Doublelift for NA, because he has just completed the double tier on the Ezreal, so he's pumping out a huge amount of damage. Licorice can do well here, but they get a hook right now.
That's so nicely done. Nightblue gets pulled all the way backwards, and this time around the Ballista combo works out perfectly. NoWay and Caps, they find a key target. Sneaky's going to use that distortion.
Another
the
hook.
rocket grab catches out into Licorice. He has flash available. He gets over the wall, but now Doublelift has joined. It's a 5 versus 4 in the Baron pits.
Jiizuke saw that flash into the wall, but
rocket grab catches Doublelift, but he primed the arcane shift. PewDiePie's looking for a target, but he's got no ultimate.
But look at all the poke coming out from Doublelift and Sneaky. They're just keeping EU at arm's length. Another hook!
Oh, there we go. Arcane shift just available for Doublelift. He forced to use the QSS, or the Mercurial in this case. Jiizuke gets chunked up at the True Shot Barrage, and in a 4 versus 5, Europe are pushed out of the pit.
They're just keeping EU at arm's length at all costs. NA playing towards their comp's win conditions very clearly, and now they're the ones with mid lane control. They're the ones that can set up the vision, but funnily enough, I'm a PewDiePie. Cloth armor instead of control wards. Wouldn't have it any other way if we're being honest, but
if you can only buy 2 control wards, is it even worth the spot?
Exactly. Broxah now looking for the potential steal.
Okay, can he do it? The Mountain Drake is secured. First one for Europe. That will deny the second stack by North America. Into the pit. No steal this time around. Nightblue secures it. Now Europe are running for their lives. Broxah's done a lot of damage with the True Shot Barrage. Flies across Europe. It destroys their HP bars. NoWay gets at least a kill back into Licorice. And Caps and Jiizuke are running for their lives. Jiizuke goes golden for a few seconds, but it will not be enough. Caps gets a reply back as a Nightblue before PewDiePie is left standing. Here comes Sneaky, he gets the shutdown. It's another ace for North America.
Caps held that fight on because I was about to say that could be game with the way the fight started, because now we have 27-second respawns on Wickd, but the 15 seconds extra it took NA to kill Caps might be enough to save this game. They're going to try to get a lot here.
Oh, this is scary. The inhibitor's falling. North America, they've got themselves a gold lead. They've got themselves a kill lead. They've got themselves a dragon lead. And they've got themselves a Nexus turret. The second is falling. And North America will take down Europe to be the undisputed best LCS in 2018.
LCS plus influencer.
Oh, fantastic stuff there from North America. It was that final team fight. They played it beautifully. Broxah getting outsmited by the mighty Nightblue. That's certainly going into the highlight reel.
World's Finals jungler outsmited by Nightblue's YouTube content. Really nicely done. It was crazy. It was chaotic. And it was exactly what we expected.
It was 58 kills.
Yes.
It was your average solo queue game. Very much what we kind of see at the challenger level. But like a lot of props to Jiizuke. I thought his Cassio was great. I thought that Wickd being able to come back into the game was great to see, but we saw Doublelift really coming into his own in these late game fights. Sneaky's LeBlanc. Who would have not thought that he could have such a fantastic performance on that channel?
Yeah, as far as like expectations versus output, I think Sneaky would be the MVP there in that regard for North America. Getting a kill onto Jiizuke at some point, getting a lot of poke down, and honestly, these guys just did what we expected them to do. They put on a show.
Yes.
Right? First pick Neeko. Throw it in the jungle. Flash in for the engages. Go for the Kalista Blitzcrank combo every single time. Leave PewDiePie to die on multiple occasions. They did everything that the fans wanted to see.
Yeah, it made me extremely, extremely happy. And you know what? The new patch, the new late game minions, it's a direct counter to Wickd. So I actually think the balancing is part of the reason that Wickd wasn't able to pull it back for Europe and the influencers. But again, it sets a really fun tone. If this is what the players are willing to do, if they are going to have some more fun for the rest of All-Stars, it is always great to see them playing to win, but it's great to see them go for those flashy plays and the flashy combos, because Nightblue just went in over and over and over again. It didn't matter when or where.
But it also sets you up now for so much content ideas. Is your title going to be Neeko proven to be champion that can take down world finalists?
Yes.
Or is it going to be Neeko needs better comp in order to work? You know, like you've got so many different angles now of what you can do for Neeko.
We're definitely going to have to ask Twitter to help us out. What will Nightblue's next YouTube video? And also,
how many shoutouts is Duke gonna get? We got Wickd in the game. We got Cutie.
Listen, we only get to cast these guys once a year now, so I'm gonna get all the shoutouts I possibly can.
True.
We've done a lot of the rest. Anyways, to help us pass through the results in our first match, we're gonna send it down to the one, the only, Tyler One for an interview with North America's Victors.
Hello, I'm sitting here live. You guys just beat Europe. How do you feel?
I mean, that was my first league game in 2 weeks, so.
Ooh!
Yeah,
Let me say something. This guy was begging me to play ADC the entire time too. I hope that they do voice comms because he knew I was a better AD. Tell him. No, say it on the mic.
Is this true?
This guy grinds like 10 hours a day, and I took a 2-week break. Like, of course he's gonna be maybe like a little better on my worst day. On his best day and my worst, he's a little better.
Ooh, I like that.
Disagree.
Okay, well, Q disagrees. So after this emotional, hard-packed, hard-hitting win, I mean, where do you go from here? You beat the worst region, but I mean, sort of the worst region ever. I mean, where do you go from here?
I guess I'm winning Worlds. I guess I'm winning the TCS Invitational.
Ooh, I mean, you want to participate? We'll have to see. It's a little bit high class for you. Now, Cutie, people in the crowd were actually chanting, "Cutie, you suck. Cutie."
No,
what
they
do you feel
weren't.
about? I mean, they were. I heard them.
100% they weren't.
They were. Did you had the headset on?
Maybe they were chanting Doublelift sucks when he was tossing my lane, but definitely no Cutie sucks.
I think they said actually Doublelift and Cutie both suck. It was a really long chant.
I could understand that.
Very long chant. So now that you've beat EU, I believe you guys also play. What do you play? I'm out of questions here. I'm just trying to like buy time.
I'm out of answers.
What's your favorite food?
That's a good question.
Hey, I like pizza.
We know you. We can tell you like pizza, cutie. Anyway, guys, congrats on that dominating performance. That's it for us. I'm gonna toss it back to Dash.
Thank you very much, Tyler. I must say, I'm a little worried for my own job now, following that
I'm not
interview.
worried.
You're not worried? Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, that was awesome.
That was brilliant.
That was so good. He did say that EU was trash, so
Yeah,
I
well,
don't-
at least 70% of those questions are questions I never would have come up with.
No,
So we could say it's a unique interview at the very least.
You know-
And hey, we did get to come out on top
Yeah,
here after a year of kind of walking in the shadow of EU. So I'll take it right at the
We
tail
get the
end of
4-1
2018.
victory.
Woo!
I
Love
will
it.
say
You know-
immediately from the get-go, the pick and ban was fantastic. Lock in that Neeko, go towards the Lucian, and then the Braum.
Right, you got 3 marksman players on the stage, a top laner playing a marksman, and then a mage in the jungle. It's a classic NA composition.
Yeah, people always talk up the EU mids, and they had a bunch of EU mids on their team, but the NA AD carries apparently are just a bit greater.
Wait, didn't you say that Neeko was overpowered before? So that's why you won. Like,
I did, but he ended 2-8.
yeah.
So we did talk about how Neeko is a very strong champion at the moment, but I also think we saw moments of that success from Neeko. We also saw some of the pitfalls.
Yeah.
Coordination is definitely key with that champion.
If that ultimate hits, it is terrifying, and then when it misses and you just see her pop instantly, it's kind of depressing.
Yeah, there's always a question of follow-up, and on top of that, the long channel time that comes with it.
I love this though. This is one of the things where you get the health and the icon and the name, so they got bamboozled there. So
I'm not sure they actually were bamboozles because Licorice just died. So they know that can't be Licorice, but they might have forgotten how much health he had.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's a big part, you're right.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there were good moments from both teams. It wasn't like a stomp either way, so I like that at least. It was slow and steady.
It was super even. 27 minutes into the game, I think it was 23 kills to 23 kills.
Yeah.
Near dead even in gold.
Also, Sneaky's LeBlanc, what the hell? That was so good.
Yeah, a couple of the off rolls really good there. Caps on the Kalista was
Kalista.
doing a lot of
Woo.
carrying as well.
And how about, okay, so who really threw the bot lane between Doublelift and Imaqtpie? Because they were kind of throwing some shade at each other, but
Yeah.
I think if we were to roll back some of those clips, that Braum was a hook magnet.
Okay, to be fair, Broxah was bot lane a lot.
That's true.
The man had pushed Neeko topside, and he was like, you know what, I'm try-harding no matter what.
Yeah.
He goes bot side and makes it a 3v2 throughout the entire early game.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Broxah
gonna
was
give
on
it to
fire, man. World finalist jungler, what was he, 6-1
Yeah.
at some point? It was just kind of popping off.
Yeah, it was great. And Jiizuke as well, of course. He was talking how since Worlds, everybody's like looking at him, seeing what he can do, and he did great on the Cassiopeia as well, but it wasn't enough. NA was better than EU. I'm just going to say it once, record it. I'm never saying it again.
Okay, no, it's preserved for forever.
Yes.
So that's in the NA archives
That's
now.
how
I'm
that
sure it'll
works.
find its way back onto broadcast
Yes.
at some point in the future. Maybe Riff Rivals next year.
Maybe. There we go. So that's only the first match. We got a lot of
Yeah,
stuff already.
how do you feel about that as a kickoff to the event?
I thought that was a great opener. This is what I'm looking for in All-Star games, right? You talked about the champion select. They're going for big plays over and over, trying to flash forward. Nobody seemingly caring about dying.
I think that's the key for me. The idea that at the All-Star event, people are they're diving into the All-Star mentality. I'm
Yeah.
going to try and make plays even if every once in a while it doesn't work out for me.
Sets the tone about the mechanical plays that we're seeing because immediately we're going to be going to a lot of these 2v2s, 1v1s modes. To just see mechanical outplays happening in the first game sets it.
Well, that's where I want to see it continue, right? In those 1v1s, in those 2v2s, when you got the spotlight on just a couple players, I hope they hold on to that kind of fiery mentality. I don't want those 100 CS wins.
I especially like the taunting and the BM. Licorice spamming on
that was
Lucian.
dirty!
Yeah, so we need to keep that as well.
All right, some more of that. Just a couple minutes, but while we set up for the
2v2s,
next
yep.
2v2s, exactly. I mean, this is what we talked about. One of the highlights of the event, the 2v2, the idea
charity
that
tournament.
is for charity. Of course, we'll break down the charities as we get further along into the tournament itself. But I'm very excited to see that meta, the 2v2 meta, as it compares to the 1v1 meta, because I do think there's more potential for kills with 4 people on the map than two people.
How does it work?
on
Like, do you choose the best synergy you have with each other? Do you choose whatever does the most damage combine and kind of going all in? Yeah, very exciting.
Theory craft for me with a minute to go or whatever, Raz.
So
Would you go double mages? Would you go 80 carries?
I'm worried
Yeah.
because having the charity lockdown, you want to be able to get the win.
Yeah.
Right.
So tryharding is going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking maybe more so along the lines of Morgana Caitlyn because you're right. You don't want to see the 100 CS victories, but I think that's the way you lock it down.
But it's for charity.
Boring.
So you got to win.
Talking to some of the players last night, there were some in the camp of tryharding and going grass Caitlyn early on.
Yeah.
And some of them are like, all right, we have a very special plan. You know, things like the Anivia Poppy interactions.
Oh my God.
Where you get the wall and the stun and really get to bring out some of those more creative plays.
Fingers crossed for that one. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, Quick Shot and Ezreal kick off the 2v2 charity tournament, so don't go anywhere.
I'll be honest.
What are you, scared? You think Wicked's gonna play that? He's gonna play Irelia.
All right, man. You think Wicked came to All-Stars event just to play Urgot against you? Oh my god.
Wait, Sneaky, you're a smurf.
Yo, no ulties in, no ulties in.
All right, nice. Good.
All right, nice.
Hey, keep shrieking. I like that.
Yeah. Good comms. Good comms.
14 minutes is getting close. Oh, point blank, petrifying gaze.
Got him. Neeko. Got him. Baron. All in. You guys have Baron. Got him. That's what I'm talking about, boys.
And North America will take down Europe